Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're journeying into a timeless classic that has shaped the fantasy genre as we know it. We're talking about George MacDonald's enchanting tale, The Princess and the Goblin. First published in 1872, this story is a beautiful tapestry woven with themes of courage, loyalty, and the magic that lies just beyond our sight. It transports us to a kingdom nestled in the mountains, complete with a royal palace, deep, dark mines, and a hidden world of underground tunnels. So, grab a cozy blanket, and let's explore this magical world together. At the heart of our story is Princess Irene, a young, curious, and incredibly brave girl, living a somewhat lonely life in a castle on a mountainside. She's about to discover that her home holds more secrets than she could ever imagine. Then there's Curdie, a clever and courageous miner boy. He's wise beyond his years, knows the mountains like the back of his hand, and isn't afraid of the strange creatures that lurk in the dark. Our cast of characters wouldn't be complete without the magical great-great-grandmother. She's Irene's mysterious and wise guardian, living in a secret room at the very top of the castle. She's a figure of light and wisdom, guiding Irene with her magical gifts. Enter the goblins, mischievous and grotesque creatures who live deep beneath the mountains. They hold an ancient grudge against the Sun People, or humans, and are plotting a sinister revenge. The story begins one rainy afternoon when Princess Irene, exploring her vast home, gets lost and stumbles upon a hidden staircase. At the top, she discovers her great-great-grandmother, a beautiful and ancient queen who reveals she has been watching over Irene her whole life. This magical grandmother bestows upon Irene a special gift, a ring attached to an invisible, yet incredibly strong, magical thread. This thread, she explains, will always lead her to safety. Meanwhile, down in the mines, young Curdie is working late. As he chips away at the rock, he overhears the goblins' secret plans. They're plotting to flood the mines, and, even worse, to kidnap Princess Irene and force her to marry their hideous goblin prince, Hairlip. Their ultimate goal is to overthrow the human king and reclaim the surface world. Curdie, armed with his pickaxe and his brave heart, knows he must stop them. One evening, Irene is lost in the misty mountains after dark. Frightened and alone, she remembers her grandmother's thread. Holding on to the invisible string, she follows it through the darkness. But instead of leading her home, the thread guides her deep into the mountain, straight into the goblins' territory. It's here that she finds Curdie, who has been captured by the goblins while trying to spy on them. Following the thread's guidance, Irene bravely leads Curdie through the labyrinthine tunnels, and they manage to escape just in time. But the danger isn't over. The goblins, furious at their escape, launch their full-scale attack. They begin to flood the mines, hoping to trap the miners and eventually flood the castle itself. Curdie rushes to warn everyone, while Irene, guided once again by her magical thread, discovers the weak point in the goblins' plan. Together, this unlikely pair of a princess and a miner boy rallies the castle guards. They manage to divert the floodwaters, foil the goblins' invasion, and send the creatures retreating back into the depths of the earth, defeated. Their bravery and teamwork save the entire kingdom from a terrible fate. The Princess and the Goblin is much more than just an adventure story. It's rich with moral lessons. A central theme is courage. Both Irene and Curdie show that you do untap to be a grown-up, or a powerful knight to be a hero. their bravery in the face of terrifying goblins and dark, unknown places teaches us that true courage comes from within, no matter your age or size. Another powerful theme is trust, particularly believing in things we can't always see. The magical thread is the perfect symbol for this. Irene is the only one who can feel it, and she has to trust it completely, even when it leads her into danger. Her faith in the thread and in her grandmother represents the importance of trusting in goodness and guidance, even when the path ahead is unclear. It's a beautiful metaphor for faith and intuition. Friendship is also at the core of this tale. The bond between Irene and Curdy is a wonderful example of how true friends protect and support each other. They come from completely different worlds, one a princess, the other a miner, but they overcome their differences to form a powerful alliance. They save each other's lives and work together to protect their home, showing that friendship transcends social status. And finally, the story is a classic battle of good versus evil. The light and love, represented by Irene and her grandmother, ultimately triumph over the darkness and malice of the goblins. It's a timeless reminder that kindness, bravery, and truth will always overcome fear and deceit. The symbolism in the novel is what makes it so deep and memorable. The magic thread, as we've discussed, is a powerful symbol of faith and divine guidance. It's a connection to a protective force that helps Irene navigate the darkness. It teaches that even when we feel lost, there's a guiding line we can trust to lead us back to safety. The underground mines and the goblin world are symbolic of fear, the subconscious, and hidden dangers. It's the dark place where our fears live, but it's also a place that must be confronted. By venturing into the mines, both Irene and Curdy face their fears head-on. The stark contrast between the light of the upper world and the darkness of the goblin realm highlights the ongoing struggle between truth and deceit, purity and corruption. Light, represented by the grandmother's magic, and the sun, ultimately purifies and defeats the darkness. The Princess and the Goblin holds a significant place in literary history. It's considered one of the very first modern fantasy novels written specifically for children, paving the way for the genre as we know it. Its influence is massive. Acclaimed authors like J.r.r. Tolkien, creator of The Lord of the Rings, and C.S. Lewis, author of the Chronicles of Narnia, both cited George MacDonald as a major inspiration. You can see echoes of MacDonald's work in The Goblins of Middle-earth and The Magical Journeys in Narnia. The book masterfully teaches children important moral values not through lectures, but through a thrilling and magical adventure, making its lessons all the more powerful and lasting. In conclusion, The Princess and the Goblin is a story that has captivated readers for over a century, and for good reason. It's a timeless fairy tale that reminds us that with a little courage, trust in the unseen, and the support of a good friend, we can overcome any darkness that comes our way. With its enchanting magical elements, a hidden subterranean world, and acts of genuine heroism, it rightfully remains one of the most beloved and influential classics in children's literature. It encourages us to find the magic thread in our own lives and to have the courage to follow it. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into a literary treasure. What are your favorite classic fantasy novels? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And do you forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next literary adventure. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.